Hello, this is Goto. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions, episode 99 apparently. Maybe we're gonna finish this series in 100 episodes. Wouldn't that be something? So since last time, like I said, I finished collecting the ingredients for the Infinity Chicken. Here's our Infinity Boy right here. There he is, being all infinite and stuff. Yeah. We got infinity eggs, and I have made all of the relevant things from that. I didn't actually end up doing this. It was like kind of like whatever. We don't need that. But we now have neutronium on demand with the autoclave. I ran it through the centrifuge for a little while. That's how I got more infinity chickens. I didn't do this recipe twice. Heavens no. And then we got some nether stardust, which is useful for something. Gravistars, right? Um, and then you also get some scrambled eggs. How exciting. We got molten infinity, which we were able to make into infinity ingots, so we don't have to do that nasty, um, what's it called? The shrinking recipe again. And then I also set up the crucible with this. I did some changes to our Thaumcraft area to support that. One thing I did is that I put this on a separate network over here, where these level maintainers that are maintaining the Essentia for the main network, those are actually pulling and maintaining it from a different network so that the main network cannot see these and it doesn't try to craft those because I'm finding it's having issues when it's trying to craft those. So any automated recipes I have, I make sure that I have it. I have the main network stocking the ingredients for it using its own level maintainer, and this just pulls them to stock up the Essentia, and then if the Essentia for a specific craft is not available, it just doesn't craft. So some changes I made to that to be able to do the Awakened Draconium more easily. I also set up the Draconic Evolution Fusion automation. Very simple setup for this. I just dump all of the ingredients in a box, and then I have the kind of the catalyzing item go into the middle here as the first thing in the chest, and that's priority one. So put the first thing in the chest into the middle there, and then everything else ends up in the pedestal. And then I have this redstone conduit here that is reading a comparator signal from the actual infuser. It actually reads into the conduit and then it reads straight back out into itself. So it kind of just like self starts when it has a valid recipe in there. And then once the recipe is complete, the conduit kicks it back into the interface, and this interface is set up to lock crafting until primary result is returned. So prevents any conflicts and mixing of recipes up like that. I did also upgrade my handy bag. We've finally ascended from the blue one. I now have the purple one. And the purple one it has the same functionality, except it has these two extra um, bags of 14 on either side. So it slightly doubles the inventory size. I kind of cleared out my second bag into my first bag. So these are like all of my semi-commonly used tools, some of which are currently chilling in my inventory because I don't know how to keep my inventory clean. It's a problem, man. But yeah, got some bigger inventory there. Bag number 2 and 4. 4 is like for mining and such, and number 2, I don't know what 2 is for anymore. It kind of doesn't really have a purpose now. And then yeah, since we what's it called? Since we did all of that fusion stuff last time, I got UV hatches made, and with the UV hatches, I actually went ahead and kind of finished up all of the research. So we now have all of the research done over here. I had the data orbs done over here ready to go, and I just like did all of the research because with our computer we were able to do everything. And since I was done with the research, I actually went around and just grabbed all of the energy hatches off of these so I could use them on other machines that I needed to without having to make more energy hatches. So I just stripped out the energy hatches from over here. Also, so they don't like passively drain any power. Um, and then yeah, oh yeah. Also, I built another fusion reactor, 2 of them, because the quest over here gives so many components for a reward. Oh, also 200 levels of EXP. I'm gotta go get all my EXP and then claim those. Anyways, because the quest gives so many parts, I was basically able to do the quest once here, and then it gave me like an extra fusion reactor worth of stuff there. So that's why I made two, and I could make a third one, I think, right? Fusion. Well, I have eight. I have eight. Oh, and also I have coils in my inventory, right? Yeah, I have coils in my inventory for some reason. Um, so we have eight of these fusion casing Mark III, and I believe to just using the sides to wall shear on fusion reactor. So if we're using these that exist on this side, I believe there's 16 per face. So, or wait, is it 16? Hang on. 5, 6. 6 times 4. 24. So there'd be 24 per side of the fusion reactor. So a fusion reactor needs 48 of those at bare minimum. And since there's already 24 here from the other reactor, that means we would only need to make 16 more if we wanted to get another reactor. But anyways, what I did is I did some overnight processing where I just told these two fusion reactors, hey, make a bunch of americium. This fusion reactor here was making lutetium for the americium crafting. And then with this fusion reactor, I told it to combine americium in the fusion reactor with nequadria, and that gave us a neutronium. And this is like a really awful conversion. This takes one nugget of each of these, nequadria and americium, and it turns it into an eighth of a nugget. So um, you got to do almost one whole ingot to get a nugget of neutronium. So it was running for quite a while. That is quite a slow recipe, and also it is a slow ingredient usage rate. But we got neutronium. So neutronium, the GregTech neutronium, that is. So where is it? Here it is. We made about 240 overnight, and then I kind of just kept going with the momentum. I got neutronium wafers with that. I made neutronium ingots that we need for. We're going to need neutronium for these, which are kind of my stretch goals. I think that's what we're going to be doing today, is setting those big multi-blocks up. And then I kind of want to go towards the finish line here because we are actually getting there. So going back, the last thing on my checklist today. Oh, also biocircuits. Let me talk about biocircuits really quick. So you might remember when I set up the circuits recipe that we had to make that sterilized growth medium, and that was really slow. So I made a multi-block brewing machine and a multi-block fluid heater to do that quicker, as well as the multi-block distillery here. This is also a distillation tower because I have this. I had it doing some. What was I doing over here? I had it doing some liquid ender air and liquid nether air so that I could get some. What did I need for the ender air? I think I needed the xenon from the other nether air. Yeah, I needed the xenon to make the neutronium doped bowels. I don't know how you say that word. And then the nether air I used to get some neon, which is to make a few of our smelting recipes a little cheaper. But yeah, I was just like kind of balling between the episode. So with that, now that our biocircuits are much faster to craft now, I went ahead and I went through our recipes, and anywhere that was using crystal circuits, I replaced with the biocircuits. So now anything that uses LUV just uses the wetware processor. Anything that uses UV uses the wetware supercomputer, and obviously there's only one UHV circuit. And anything that was using ZPM now uses wetware assembly. So yeah, those are what I've done. And then most creative tasks. There wasn't really anything too noteworthy here. This was just like, hey, craft this thing that you've been able to craft for a long time. Here you go. Here's a trophy for your fusion reactor. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't really need that. At this point, we could actually go ahead and make the key. Like, I have all the stuff to make this, like, right now. What is crystalline alloy? Hold on. Maybe I don't have all this stuff right now. Mana steel and diamond? That is so cheap. It's funny how, like, this kind of contrasts the cost of other items that we've been using up till now, because this is, like, just kind of way out of balance compared to the difficulty of something like neutronium ingot. Oh, hold on. Neutronium ingot? We can do that now. Neutronium. I guess I never took any into my inventory. Hey, and quest complete there. Get 4 free neutronium ingots, which is like, it's a significant amount of americium and quadria that's needed to make those. Um, so yeah, the only things we need left here is we need the energy core. And the crazy thing about the energy core, it requires a UHV machine coal, which uses neutronium. 8 neutroniums for that. Europium cables. Not the worst thing in the world. But the crazy thing here is the ultimate battery. Ultimate battery requires 16 energy clusters, 4 UV field generators, and then just a crap load of UHPIC wafers, and then on top of that, 64 neutronium bolts. So between episodes, I also went ahead and I did the energy modules because it needs 16 of them. So I'm gonna be crafting 2 of them. So I got 32 to start. So just to show you how much this would cost without the energy modules in storage, if I go to make ultimate batteries, just go ahead and see what it takes to make 2. First of all, we can't even afford to make all of them. We are missing 106 molybdenum. Are we missing anything else? We don't have enough benzene. Our tank over there at oil processing is too small, even though the tank is full. It's not enough. And yeah, this is just a crazy, crazy craft. What else is over here? Kind of some crazy stuff. Look at how many 5,200 advanced inductors. I think I saw ruthenium somewhere in here being like just a ridiculous amount of ruthenium as well. Where's ruthenium? Here it is, 1,000 ruthenium. I don't think we even have that much. We have just over that, so like we're very close, cutting it close there. But yeah, with the energy clusters, that's like kind of the big load of that. So now if we go and we craft the ultimate battery, 2 of them this time, you can see it went from over 1 million bytes craft. Now it's just a 90,000 byte craft. And I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm not going to craft the ultimate battery directly right now, but I will just go ahead and do the energy core directly. And the energy core is one of the last things we need for this. So let's go energy core. Go ahead and make one of those. So it's going to be crafting the ultimate battery. Actually, I want to get an ultimate battery directly because I believe there's probably going to be an advancement for it. I haven't even really looked at advancements in here. Like, what's going on? Yeah, there do be a bunch of advancements in here I've kind of been ignoring. I don't really look at advancements unless it's one of those mod packs that that warrant it. Oh yeah, highly advanced system on a chip is an advancement, and ultimate battery is like kind of the capstone advancement. Here, I actually have a HA SoC. Boom. We're not going to get to hear that too many more times, so might as well savor it. So while that's running, should not be that long of a craft, because I've kind of have the most expensive part already crafted. While that's running, let's talk about our stretch goal. So I would like to make the rotary furnace, the rotary hearth furnace, And I've kind of pre-prepared most of the ingredients for it, as well as the bulk blast chiller. So I'd like to make those and set them up. So let's go ahead and do that while our ultimate battery is crafting. Though I guess we need UV field generator, so that might actually cause some upset with the amount of things it needs to make while the batteries are crafting. Maybe we cancel the batteries. Hold on. Where are the batteries? What are you crafting right now? Yeah, how about we cancel this because this also is trying to make UV field generators. We can make those after we're making our rotary hearth furnace and blast chiller. So let's go ahead and make our rotary blast furnace. I have a set for them. So this is just all of the ingredients for the entire furnace, if I did all the math correctly. And then blast chiller as well. I have a set for that. And what are we missing here? Neutronium fluid pipe and iron wrench. I guess the other recipe probably took the iron wrench. Yep. How about you just like, why don't you craft your own wrenches, guys? You're so lazy. Make me craft a wrench manually. And then neutronium fluid pipe. That's going to be quick extruder trip. Hopefully that's not like super slow. 150 seconds. That's not the worst. It should be pretty quick in our extruder. All right, so let's try again. Blast chiller. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me. This was doing a bunch of ingots in here, right? And those are probably trying to cool down. Oh, that's a lot of tungsten steel you're cooking up, sirs. What are you doing with that tungsten steel? Who ordered all the tungsten steel? Hello? Oh, here, I guess. Jeez, 1,200 tungsten steel for the rotary hearth furnace? Okay. What does this multi-block look like again? Oh, yeah, it do be having... Sorry, do be having a lot of tungsten steel on it. Oh, yeah, the top is entirely tungsten steel. Yep, that would check out. And then the bottom is all these high temperature smelting cases. Okay, well, where do we put inputs on here also? Is it only on... So layer 1 can have kind of input blocks. Layer 2 also can have input blocks, but not where these heat vents are. And then layer 3 can't have anything. Layer 4... Okay, so everything above layer 2 is like non-functional. Well, the coils are functional, but they're just coils, so yeah, nothing goes anywhere else. Layer 17. Oh, that's gonna be a tall multi-block. Like, how tall is this guy here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's gonna be twice as tall as this thing? Oh, that's gonna be a sight. I guess we're gonna be waiting for a little while for all of these things to craft up, so I will probably come back once this is done. So be back in a little bit. I am also excited to upgrade our blast furnace because our like furnaces are actually like quite fast, but our blast furnace or our vacuum freezer is like actually like the bottleneck and the bane of our existence here. Maybe, you know what? Hang on, this is gonna be crazy, right? I'm gonna cancel this one. Let's do the blast chiller first because I'm kind of tired of how slow this thing is, you know. So, this is gonna take a while. I wanted to finish all of these metals so it doesn't like overcook these. But once it finishes these metals, we're going to go ahead and request the blast chiller then. And then I think we're gonna have most of the metals done for it. So, like, what is it doing with tungsten carbide even? It's probably... what are you doing with tungsten carbide? You're not making HSSG coils. Oh, here we go. It's making tungsten carbide frame boxes for the high temperature smelting cases. Checks out. But anyways, I'm going to let these metals finish cooling down in our vacuum freezers, and then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna go ahead and order the bulk uh, blast chiller once these are done, and then I'll come back once we're ready to put it together. Be back in a minute. Alright, just checking in. I've been kind of not paying attention for, I don't know, 5 minutes. Finally got through most of the molten metal that was in here. Just finishing up the molten naquita, which I think it's only used in the framing of the rotary hearth furnace. So that shouldn't really be anything part of the blast chiller, but I'm gonna let it finish anyways, just in case like it might be used in some machine parts or something. I don't know. But now that that's done, let's go ahead and order the blast chiller. I also went ahead and cooked up some energy hatches while I was waiting for that. We do technically have the ability to make UHV energy hatches, though I don't actually have the recipe automated. But yeah, I could make this. I have the research for this done. I have my assembly lines upgraded to UHV power. They have 2 UV energy hatches on them, so we could make those, but for now I'm just gonna stick with the uh, just the 16 amp UV ones. And okay, here we go. Now we can go ahead and request the blast chiller. So I'm gonna go ahead and request that. All right, it's going to fire up those alloy blast smelters again and just totally make a bajillion ingots worth of molten metal again. And I actually have to do some other stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and also request the rotary hearth furnace as well. I'm hoping it kind of prioritizes the blast furnace, but we'll see what is available when I get back from the thing I'm doing. So be back in a bit. Probably these things will be done crafting when I'm back, so see you in a bit. Oh, right. I flipped back to see what was happening over here. Ruthenium, tritium, immersium, neutronate ingots. I believe those require UHV vacuum freezer. So, um, since we're about to retire this thing anyways, let me just, let me see here. Let me just pop this guy over here. Okay. Didn't sound like anything was running, so hopefully I shouldn't have ruined any recipes there. Let's go ahead and grab our 16 amp energy hatch right here. Just stick it in there, and off to the races you go. Oh, wait, was it UHV? It's UHV, that means we need 2 of them. Go ahead and grab another one. I don't know if we have any UHV cables, though, is the thing. And we have too many energy hatches over there on that one now. There we go. Well, that should be working, so. But only for this one. Okay, this one's gonna have to carry us across the finish line with that. Oh, hey, it's done already. Cool, that was quick. Alright, I'm going to need to finish up what I'm working on first before we can build these multi-blocks, so be back in a minute. But they are ready to go. Okay, let's go get our stuff. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff in here. So I believe this is all part of the vacuum freezer. Except not the firebox casings for obvious reasons, but the pipe casing should be. The clean stainless steel should be. Okay, let's go put this thing together somewhere. Where do we want to have it? Well, our vacuum freezer's been over here, so how about we just have it, like, right next to where our vacuum freezer's been? How long has this plant been here? Jeez. And then let me see where this needs to be. So the controller is 2 blocks up. Where's our inputs here? So bottom layer is good. The little side on the side is not good. Anywhere where there's frost-proof machine casing seems to be okay. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Go up a couple layers. Yep, still good. Good on top. All right, so let's go ahead and just drop this here and see how this is going to look right here. You know what? That's like a tight fit, but it's like not touching any of the other multi-blocks. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and plant it right there. Before that, though, let me make sure there's no torches in the zone because those messed me up last time I was trying to build a multi-block. I was like, why is it not going? Okay, and I want to make sure I don't have any energy hatches in my inventory because I don't want them to get put in the structure and then I have to find them. Okay, so I only have structural bits of the multi-block. Let's go ahead and grab my console. Where is my console? There it is. With all of the terminal is what it's called. With all this stuff in my inventory, it's like so many more things I have to look with. All right, automatic build. Boom. Nice. Looks like I got most of the blocks placed. I think it placed all of the pipe casings inside because I don't have any left. I think we're good on the stainless steel casing just because this looks complete. The inside looks good. So the only thing we're missing is some frostproof aluminum casing for the edges of this. And then I think we're going to be good to go with this. Okay, let's go ahead and... I don't need to get more frostproof machine casings, though, because I'm going to be putting hatches and such in here. Also, can we put blocks inside of here? Well, actually, I'm looking in there, and I don't think it would matter, but there's this edge here, which is nice. We can put our energy hatches here, and then have it be powered by one flux plug. So let me go ahead and do that. Also, let me make sure these are still good. Flux plug point. The flux point, not flux plug. Mana diamonds. Hold on. What happened to mana diamonds? I must have messed up that pattern at some point. Mana diamond. That is an assembler recipe. Yeah, at some point I accidentally took some assembler recipes out, and I don't know where they went. So I think I might have yeeted them on the floor on accident. But no matter. Let's put this back in here. Yeah, like there's this assembler here, which is like lower level stuff, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it was in here. There's also a blank slot here. I don't know what used to be in there. Yeah, I don't know where they went, but alright, should be good to go now. Let's try that again. Flux point. Got like 4 of them going on. And then let me go back over here and grab my energy hatches. Alright, grabbing my energy hatches back from here. Hopefully I didn't just break somebody's crafting job there. I mean, not the job, I guess. It would just been an item. Alright, so here's our energy hatches, and my flux points are done. So this is going to be a blast chiller. Disable limit. This is going to be using a lot of power. Oh my, that was a lot of power I saw being drained. Okay, so that is the... what's it called? That's the power. Now I need to get the items into here. So for the items, I was using this dedicated network over here. All of these buses are already configured, but I do need like a main network. Well, also, we're not going to need this anymore. This goes to our OG furnace. Not furnace, freezer. That's the opposite of a furnace. So we're not going to be needing these guys anymore. And I can actually just go ahead and steal both of these hatches, because we can put those on our new furnace. I called it a furnace again. And I can go ahead and also... Let me go ahead and steal these guys. the output hatches. So I want to leave this little subnetwork in place just because it has the filters set up already on this interface here, so I don't really want to mess around with it. So this doesn't need to be visible on the terminal. So I'm just going to leave this subnetwork here in place, but I'm going to move it over. I'm going to get the wireless linking kit and bind this one. I'm going to break this one over here, and I'm going to move it over here. And this is, I guess I'll put it closer here so we can save ever so slightly little power by not having to send the signal as far. This is going to be our stocking input and stocking hatch. And then as far as getting the stuff out, I'll probably just put an output hatch, the output hatches here on the bottom, and kind of like tunnel in from the bottom. So let me just go ahead and just go in here really quick and make a little tunnel. Where's my shrinking thingy? Been a while since we used this. Alright, so we just need to go down in here. Alright, there we go. And then I just need some smart cables. I only need 2 channels on this, so how many do we have over here? Plenty. So just going to pull over... if I can get back in this dang hole. Okay, there we go, jeez. Let me just pull over this line here. Excellent. And then that's just going to connect up right there to those hatches once I install them. Let me take off this bobble first before I'm like, why does everything look weird? And output bus and output hatch right here. Wrench them downwards so that they connect to the cables, and then we're all set there. Now I just need a piece of dirt to cover that up. Dirt. Alright, so the inputs are set, the outputs are set. Now we just need to finish this, I think, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And structure's incomplete. Does this need a muffler hatch or something? Blast chiller. Does not have a muffler hatch up here. Oh, I'm missing all these heat vents. Okay. I probably left them over here thinking that, you know, the heat vents are part of the rotary furnace, but it is in fact on the heat sink part of this, so that makes a lot of sense actually. All right, and we're still not formed. Do we need them in here too? I'm guessing in that little pattern. Okay, not quite correct. Okay, something's still wrong here. Let's look at the picture. Oh, on the bottom too. Okay, that's probably where they're missing from. Yep, they sure are. Alright, now I'm stumped. Okay. Whoa. Accidentally walked into the wall there. Let me see. So this is a 4x4 and then like a cross pattern in there. Is that correct? So, yep, that is like a cross pattern. Okay, well, I mean, everything looks correct to me, so, there's probably something stupid somewhere that's being like, hey, you shouldn't have put that there. Okay, 1 and 3 energy hatches, that's what we have. We don't have any parallel hatches. I can remedy that. I made some super parallel control hatches, 256 parallels. It's going to be crazy. But that doesn't fix the multi... Oh, here. There's a missing block back there. And then let me put these blocks back. Are we good now? Oh, yes, we're good. Alright, I'm going to turn this off, and then let's see what we have in the pipeline for our hot ingots and our fluids. 48 hot Nequadria ready to go. Alright, we ready for this? Here we go. Oh, forgot one kind of important thing. We also need input hatch. We need to get helium from our main network here. So let me grab that. Connect that piece there. Get another piece of dirt. Since we're making liquid helium for our fuel anyways, I'm not going to make the liquid helium in here. We're just going to pull that from our main system. And I need to make sure we have enough liquid helium in here. So liquid helium, it can do 256, right? And that's up to 500 recipes. So let's put double that. Let's put 256,000 liquid helium. All right, there it goes. I don't know how many it's doing right now, but that is very fast. We're constantly making Nequadria from our Nequadria processing EBF, so wow, it does 1 ingot in 12 ticks. Very nice. Alright, there we go. Now we can basically take this thing apart. I think there's literally no purpose for it at this point. So, yoink. We can see my crazy structure I had under here. That's the ME output. And then, what is this? Energy hatch, energy hatch, and then output bus. So yeah, these blocks we see here, these two blocks were responsible for catching the helium, and then this was responsible for catching the liquid helium and then pushing it into the center so all the multi-blocks could handle it. So very compact kind of setup I had going on there in the middle. Alright, wow, it feels weird, but nice to just be able to completely dismantle a setup like this. I do need to keep that interface connected over here, so let me just make sure that cable doesn't get lost. And then this subnetwork still needs to receive power, so how about I move that? Don't need that going up there anymore. How about I move that subnetwork to over here? Inventory's a little full. All right. Plug it in. Cool, and that's the one that's linked over there, right? Yeah, it is. Well, we'll sort it out later. I can take these 2 flux points back. I do not need to swing around this side of the area anymore. Alright, cool. I think that's all that I really need to leave intact here. Oh, and if you were wondering, this is where I was getting my Ender Air and my Nether Air to make my Neon and Xenon. I just kind of went and I put a air collector in the nether, and then I moved it to the end, or I did it in the opposite order. But yeah, those are what I used, and I just had it directly feeding into the quad back. But yeah, there we go. Crazy, bigger, better machines. Let's go. All right, and then we have one last beast to contend with. And I'm cleaning up the field over here because we're going to need some space for it. It is a no joke of a monster of a multi-block. This area looks big enough. Let's go get our stuff to make the rotary hearth furnace. And I'm going to need to make some room in my inventory as well. Okay, is this enough room to pick up what I need to pick up here? Actually, no, it is not. This is crazy how much this needs. Okay, let me get all of the non-moving parts of this, because the rest of them is going to be, like, potentially hatches and stuff. Let's just plop it, like, right here. In, like, the funniest place. Whoops. Need to put the controller on something. Wow, look at that thing. Like, I've seen bigger multi-blocks than this, but this is, like, the biggest one that is in this mod pack, I believe. So, alright, let's start building it one block at a time. Wow, that is so many blocks. Jesus. Alright, yep, and just quite a lot of layers. And it only has one muffler hatch up there for all of this? That's crazy. Okay, let's use our terminal to place a bajillion blocks. Alright, well, that was... Oh, where did all these output buses come from? Oh, they came from the vacuum freezer, huh? Well, I did not want to place those yet, so... how's the inside look? The inside is hollow, I guess? Is this what it looks like in here? It's like a little hollow layer? Hopefully I don't have trouble building this one, because it's going to be a nightmare to try to find any issues. Oh, no, it's not hollow. It's supposed to have the high temperature casings in there. Alright, what's the bottom look like? The bottom has these concave corners here, so we can do the same thing with the input hatches over there. So let's get our 16 amp energy hatches. And we can use this flux plug, except I'm going to rename it to rotary EBF. It is already set to disable limit. Alright, so for actually processing stuff here, and let me look where we can have hatches again. I think I'm going to have 3 hatches, basically. I'm going to have a hatch for circuit 1, I'm going to have a hatch for circuit 2, and then I'm going to have a hatch for recipes without a circuit. So that should cover all of our smelting needs, I believe, and there shouldn't be any kind of conflicts like that. And let's get a muffler hatch for the top before I forget that's up there, and then I'm like, what's the multi-block not working? Crafting. I'm like, why is that taking so long for an LV machine hole? How dare you make me wait like 10 seconds this late into the game? Looks like we're short a pipe casing here, which is odd. Did I put it in storage somehow? Not sure how that got into storage, but alright, there we go. This thing looks cool as heck. Look at that. Oh, we're missing quite a few more pipe casings over here. Yeah, not sure why we didn't get all those made. Maybe they overlapped with the ones that were for the other furnace. I keep calling this dang thing a furnace, the blast chiller. Maybe they just overlapped with the ones required for the blast chiller, and that's how it ran out. We should have enough extreme engine intakes, though, because the blast chiller doesn't use those. Heat vents, I'm kind of wondering about the heat vents. Let me make a heat vent, and I'm just going to try to toss the heat vent onto the... Why is this, like, taking so long? Where are you crafting your tungsten steel? Why is the tungsten steel not crafted yet? Let's see. Molten? Uh-oh. Oh, you know what? I bet I don't have the hatch pulling molten metals. Like, I didn't tell it to stock. No, they're in here. Oh, I know what the problem is. Where's my ingot shape? Is it shape or mold? I think I lost it, unless it's on the floor over here somewhere. No worries. We'll just make a new one. And then I want ingots. There it is. Okay. Input bus, put our ingot mold in there, and we should be good to go. Was that it? Did it finish all the metals like that? Wow, okay. That's nice. Alright, so with the heat vent, let me go ahead and see if it will accept any more heat vents. Oh, I put the input hatches again. Whoops. And it did not accept any more heat vents, so that means we're good on those. Let me put these hatches out of my inventory before I do that for like a third time. I think I'd like to set up my hatches and stuff before this goes built. Nah, whatever, we're gonna build it. Let's go get all of our heat-proof machine casings, and let's build the kind of the structure around the multi-block. High-temperature casings is what they're called. I'm just gonna worry a little bit if it doesn't, what's it called? If it doesn't, like, put them in a way where it's obvious where the ones I need to change are. Let's get our parallel hatch, our 256 parallel hatch once again. Put that right there. And then make sure I don't have hatches in my inventory again. Auto build. Okay, so it left me some blocks over here. Let me go around back. Okay, it left me one back here. I don't know why it did that. Okay, so that one is all set now. It's not going to bamboozle me with stuff in the back. I believe it should have done the top properly. Oh yeah, pipe casings. I forgot about those. So we got our pipe casings all done. Now we need to do our input buses and hatches. So let's do some input buses. I believe it is now appropriate to use bigger than LV input buses. So let me do that. I could also use stocking input. No, never mind. I can't because I'm going to be using different circuits over here. So we're going to have 3 input buses. And we're going to have input hatch. You can just use like a big old input hatch. Maybe it doesn't need to be... Actually, it does need to be this big. I'm going to use the UV input hatch, which goes crazy. 2 million liters. Let's go. That's like less... That's more than I drank today. Quite the statement, I know. Did I make 1 or 2? I need 2 of those, sorry. Sorry, make another one, please. Okay. So for actually feeding these, I'm going to... Where does the multi-block go? It goes 4 blocks over? Okay, so let me move this over here. So these blocks here, let me put a kind of a visual indicator. These 6 blocks are kind of where I want to work with to actually get stuff into here. We can have hatches like all up on the second layer, right? Okay, we can actually have them in the middle, which is kind of funny because we can't even get to the middle. Like the middle is, you know, buried by stuff, but it's there. Okay, so input hatch. This is going to be probably our hatch 0 over here, our hatch 2 here, and then our Actually, why do we need multiple input hatches? We don't need multiple input hatches. Never mind. Let's do a setup like this. Input bus. And then let's do our output hatch and output bus. Let's do those like there and there. Okay, so for the tank, I'm going to use a Phantom liquid face. Also, we saw the multi-block form, so yes, that means everything's built correctly. Let's use a Phantom liquid face up here. This is going to be linked to the tank, to the hatch, rather. And then I'm going to have two interfaces here. Interface here and here. You are going to be our new EBF C2. And you're going to be EBF C0 plus fluid. And I'll say C2 plus fluid, even though C2 already implies that it's plus fluid. And then, so when these two push fluid, they're going to push their item down here. So this needs to be the C2 hatch. Let's get some pattern expansion cards. I don't know why I didn't make enough. All right, so those are going to be set for that, and then we're going to need one for C1 recipes. And I'm thinking for C1 recipes, we can do it... I don't really want to obstruct the hatch, though, now that I'm looking at this. Because what if I need to, like, get in there for some reason? Then I have to, like, take stuff apart, and it's all annoying. Let's put our C1 over here instead. But no, never mind. It can't be next to this interface, because that might cause an issue. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, you know what? We can use a flat interface. Because it does not need to push items in multiple directions, because this is our C1 hatch, which is not going to take any fluids. Right? Let's look at that really quick. Program circuit. Circuit 1, EBF. Wait. Cobalt, are you freaking kidding me? Freaking kidding me right now? Cobalt here to ruin the day. Cobalt, that's really annoying. Why have you done this? At least it didn't take, like, scrolling through the whole thing to find that there was, in fact, a Circuit 1 item that, or Circuit 1 recipe that took, what's it called? Fluids. Okay, Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to wrench this guy. Let's scoot over everything over. These don't really need to scoot over as much as just pick up and move that one. The order of these doesn't really matter. Input hatch. You turn back into a regular interface because you're going to need to be all squares. Now for the input bus over here, I'm going to actually have it back here instead. So input bus C0 plus fluid, you're going to be there. C2 plus fluid is going to be here. You are going to be our C1 plus fluid. So EBF C1 plus fluid. All right, and then the last input bus is going to go in there. This is just going to be a placeholder block. You are going to be a liquid phantom face. I guess I could put like a fluid tube in here. But nah, this is gonna ultimately be better because then it can push, it can push the entire recipe in there. Do I want to use a quad hatch? Decisions. Okay, I'm gonna change this one more time. I'm gonna use a quad hatch instead. So let's make well, not a quad kit, just a quad UV hatch. Should only take a second, and just need some Naquita pipes for that, which should cool down very quick in our new freezer. All right, so we got our UV input hatch. I guess what would be the best way to get our fluids in here, though? What kind of quad pipes can we make that can hold all the fluids? Even the neutronium quad pipe cannot hold that much fluid. I think we're still going to use the phantom face, though. Okay, let's use the phantom face. It's kind of weird linking the phantom face to, like, the block next to it, but that ended up being kind of what worked, so... Alright, let's get some smart cables going over here. Smart cables across there and across there. Okay, so we are using 5 channels for this, which seems ludicrous for like how powerful this thing's about to be, but all right, there we go. It's all set up, ready to go. All trinium coils. You are supposed to be circuit 2. You are supposed to be circuit 0, and back here you need to be circuit 1. All right, now there's only one thing left to do, and that's to move over our recipes. I kind of organized them earlier. So let me put my stuff in a chest really quick so I can just focus on moving patterns over without having my inventory clogged by stuff. So these are all C2 up here. So all of these should have no program circuit, and they should be for program circuit 2 already. So let me just go ahead and grab all of those. They should all use fluid. Any of these that are non-parallelized, that are parallelized rather, let me just go ahead and deparallelize them, because we're going to be just cooking these up as fast as AE can push them in here. It doesn't really need to be parallelized, so I think this is correct, right? Yep. So chrome, and then tungsten. Oh, you know what? I should have used my one tool. The pattern multi-tool, I think it's called. Okay, so these are all circuit 1 recipes. Or circuit 2 recipes, I mean. So you are the circuit 2. Nice. All right, now let's go get our circuit 1 recipes, which is not really that many, to be honest. So those are down here. I kind of divided them up like so. So these are all circuit 1 up here. So let me go ahead and grab those, and none of these should use program circuit. I can confirm that now by going to look at my EBF. EBF with program circuit. Yep, see, no program circuits. So these all have program circuit, and they're all program circuit 1. Wait a second. Demon ingot? Demon ingot. Demon ingot is a program circuit 0. Okay, so that needs to be in my 0 hatch. Solarium is a program circuit 0 as well, I believe. Solarium. Yes, okay. Anyone else sneaking in here? So cobalt, I know, is the odd one. Sterling silver without fluid. Vanadium steel without fluid. Rose gold without fluid. gallium arsenide with gallium arsenide dust. Okay. Okay, yep, all of these should be good. And then these two are circuit zeros. So circuit 0 for you guys, and then the rest are circuit 1. Sorry, 1 second. Let me look at that again really quick. Okay, just, I saw a fluid pattern in there. I was like, wait a second. Just making sure it was only the cobalt one. And then last but not least, these should all be non-circuited ones. So those can just go into circuit 0. Alright, beautiful. Now this is ready to craft. What do we want to craft with our inaugural EBF run? We do not want blocking mode set on any of these. Oh, for this one, the ones that had circuits in them before, I do need a circuit card. Otherwise, it's going to be trying to put my actual circuit in there, which I don't really want it to do. So let me go and get a programmed... Well, I don't need to get a programmed circuit card. I can just take the one that's over here. Yoink. Alright, this should be all good to go. So that's just going to basically not have it worry because those should all be disambiguated regardless. Oh, and obviously I need to connect our network here up. So this is using 5 channels, right? Let me go ahead and throw that there. I don't know why that glass break sound was weird. Bind this over here, and let's throw it... We'll probably just throw it on the same trunk over here, the same trunk line. 8 channels, yeah. Let's just throw it right here. So that's just branching the signal over there. How many go to the vacuum freezer? 4, yeah. So we couldn't really branch off that. Would be short 1 channel. All right, everything over here should be online now. Great. Okay, let's freaking do it. What do we want to craft with our rotary blast furnace first? How about some naquadah? Oh, you know what else I want to do over here? Hold on. Let's do some stocking buses. Not stocking, but AMI input. I guess I need to craft both of these because I don't have either. But I want to do a input. I guess I could have used my stocking ones over here, but I don't know. I might want to use those somewhere else for something else. Yeah, now we have, remember how we had 5 channels? Well, now we have 7. 5, 7, hey. Sorry. Alright, and the reason I want to do that is because if I put hydrogen in here... Hydrogen, okay, hang on, I need to fix recipes that have hydrogen in them really quick. So these are the 3 recipes I want to have in here, is the enriched naquadah sulfate, the naquadria sulfate, and the titanium trifluoride. Dark steel, is that something we currently have? Dark steel, okay, don't need to worry about dark steel. Vibrant alloy we have. So where is vibrant alloy? And this is like necessary, right? Yeah, you cannot do this recipe without the hydrogen. So vibrant alloy, energetic alloy, end steel ingot. I don't think we do end steel ingot, but I do think we do energetic. So energetic, we do end steel. We do not do. Okay, so I need to change this guy and this guy. Take out the hydrogen because hydrogen is going to be stocked by default. So no hydrogen for you and no hydrogen for you. And if it kept pushing hydrogen in the hatch is just, you know, going to be full of hydrogen eventually. All right, so in the input hatch, we are going to stock... How many does the sulfates used? The sulfates use 2,000. The quadria sulfate uses 2,000. And then the titanium trifluoride uses 3,000. Okay, let's just stock like 2,000 buckets of hydrogen in here, which is like just a comical amount. But we have that much, so. And then over here, let's do our let's like do a crazy amount of the Nequadria first, because Nequadria has been something that's just like been slowly chipping away in this furnace over here. How's our power over here looking? Oh, I also totally forgot we should probably be working on the ultimate battery during this, but maybe ultimate battery is going to be the wrap-up we do. So, please stop processing that. Thank you. We will also want to do ilmenite over here. What do you need for ilmenite? Ilmenite is... okay, just carbon and... hang on, carbon? Does carbon conflict with something? Oh, carbon uses our steel recipe, so we'll have to fix that one as well. Let me bookmark that one so I don't forget. Ilmenite is just ilmenite. Okay, so carbon only really conflicts with that recipe. And this recipe for hot silicon using silicon dioxide, but we're not really using that one. I guess if I needed more silicon, I might consider it, but we're fine at the moment. All right, here we go. Let's go and put our naquita sulfate to go. Let's do our enriched naquita sulfate. Let's see how much we have first. Enriched naquita sulfate. Sulfate. We have 300,000 enriched naquita sulfate. Let's go. So it does 6 every recipe. Let's just put like 5,000 in here. Oh, geez. Did you see how many it took at a time? It took like 1,400. So what's it doing here? It's doing 6 seconds. And it is processing like, what is this? A little over 1,500 in 6 seconds. So that's making 256 ingots for this to cool down. If we watch it here, we can kind of see them blip in really quick. How is our, where's our output bus here? Oh yeah, look at that. 256 enriched naquita ingots just like that. Like instantly. Boom. Well, not instantly, like obviously in 6 seconds. This one's doing 3 seconds though, right? 2 seconds? Even better. That is crazy. And we're already down to 272,000. So yeah, we could like tear through that enriched naquita sulfate in no time now. Let's do our Nequadria sulfate though. Let's see how much it does that in. So I don't think this can do quite as much parallels because it's a more expensive recipe. Yeah, it only does 500 at a time. And it takes 30 seconds. But still, that is a lot of Nequadria that it's doing. I think it's gonna pop us out like 60 Nequadria in 64 Nequadrias here in 30 seconds. We can go over here and see. Here, I'm gonna pause the blast chiller so we can see the items show up in here. 64 Nequadria is still crazy. That's 2 per second. That's like we have 64 blast furnaces in one. Yeah, look at that, 68. All right, go ahead and fire that up. 5 seconds to cool those down. And that's all of them. That's not 64 of them. That is actually all of them. All right, that's great. Okay. Let's put carbon in here. 1,000 carbon. Let's put the titanium trifluoride in here. Like 10,000 of those, because why not? We can also put 10,000 carbon, because why not? I need to grab my iron recipe here. Steel ingot, rather. Let's put this into here. Take out the carbon, because carbon is going to be stocked. And this uses iron dust. I'm not mucking around with the raw iron recipe, because it's already, like, way too fast. Let's do some steel really quick. Steel ingot. How fast do you all think I can cook 10,000 steel ingots in? That fast. Okay. Pretty good. That's pretty incredible. Okay, well, that is kind of our major stretch goal that I was going for. Let's finish up the getting the creative key. And then next time we're going to come back and probably play around a bit, but it's going to be like our finale for this series. So we need energy core. To make this, we need the ultimate battery, but this is going to be way faster now that we have those multi-blocks at our side. So let's like watch the ingots that it has to do here, how fast they're going to be. So it's doing some americium. That's just solidifying. The HSSE, that's our alloy blast smelter. That's not actually running over there right now. I guess it doesn't need to do any individual ingots. You know what though? Let's not waste time there. Let's do some like palladium. Yo, we're low on palladium. Holy. Let's do like 2,000 palladium because we know we're gonna need that for circuits. How fast do you do palladium, sir? 2,000 palladium. Oh gosh, that is just tearing through that palladium. Look at that. It's done cooking already. Now it's cooling down. Wow, very nice. Okay, so most of our ingots still cook in the alloy blast smelter, which admittedly is... I mean, they're fast, but that's only a quad parallel, and this is a what 256 parallel, so it can only be so fast. If I really wanted to like purely optimize this, I would, at this point, I would probably want to put all of these recipes over there, but there's so many recipes. I don't really want to mess with that many recipes, so because there's a lot in here, as you can see. Yeah, so not gonna mess with those. What are we doing here, though? What is taking so long to cook here? It's taking quite a while to freeze as well, so it must be something, it must be like those superconductor? Yeah, it's those superconductor ones. And it can only process 17 at a time? That is crazy. I didn't realize it was... Or, you know what? It can. I think it can process more at a time. It just um, didn't have them all available at the same time or something, maybe? Because 17 seems like an odd number for it to be stuck on parallelizing. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish crafting this stuff up. We've got a good handful of wetware circuits to make. Why is it? Why are wetware circuits not crafting? Oh, because we need yttrium barium cuprate, I'm guessing. No, that's available. Good question. No matter. We need these ingots to cook up, so I'm going to come back once those are cooked up, and we're going to see where we're currently standing. Let's also go make sure our power is not like blowing up over here. Yeah, our power is staying up, even though when the EBF and freezer run, it uses way more. Like right there, you saw the freezer run for a second. All right, I'll be back when our ultimate battery here is done. I actually forgot that I wanted to grab the ultimate battery to my inventory just for the achievement, because, I don't know, I care about achievements suddenly. And, so I canceled the crafting job. I'm going to wait for these blast furnaces to finish this current set. I'm going to wait for the blast chiller to grab all the ingots. Here, let me do a quick experiment here. These will be done in like 10 seconds or less. Less than 10 seconds. Alright. And the last one. Oh, I guess there was another ingredient in the hatch. I'll be back when this one's done. Alright. They are done. What's waiting in our vacuum freezer? 7,200 worth. So that is 50 ingots worth. So can you do 50 ingots worth in one go? It cannot, actually. Okay. So that is... How much is left here now? 33? Yes. It can only do 17 of these ingots at a time. Why so little? I guess it's a UV recipe. It's just an expensive recipe. If I want to do more, what I would have to do is I would have to turn the hatches up. I would have to put UHV hatches on here, which I might, just for fun. Like I said, there's going to be a finale episode. But anyways, let me go ahead and get the ultimate battery crafting up. My system's probably getting tired of me, like, requesting and canceling this over and over and over. I am a little confused on why it's not doing the wetware circuits yet. Like, what is it waiting for exactly? Wetware circuits. HSSE. Maybe it's just waiting for the HSSE for the... Or it could also be waiting for niobium titanium foil. Oh yeah, that's what's crafting now. Okay, it must be the niobium titanium that it was kind of stuck behind everything waiting. I also upgraded the input bus on my circuit assembler. It's just kind of comically large at this point. Is this running? Yeah, this is running too. So some item... Oh, I just saw like a bunch of items blip into here. I don't know if you were even able to see that on screen. But yeah, this is just crushing these circuits very fast. So the rest of the circuits are made in the assembly line beyond the wetware assembly. So wetware supercomputer and wetware mainframe, which is things it actually needs for this battery, are currently over there cooking up in the assembly line. So if we go over here, we can see, yeah, it's kind of a slow craft, but they're going. 50 seconds? Is that? What takes 50 seconds over here? This takes 20 seconds. This takes 100 seconds at UV, and we're at UHV. Oh, okay. It's making the mainframes right now. That's why it's going so slow. Alright. We'll be back in 20 seconds then. Alright, I think it might be making the battery over here right now. Yep, it might be cooking up the battery right now. Or I might be waiting for another circuit. Nope, this is it. This is the battery. Here it is. 20 seconds to get the hardest item to obtain in the mod pack. Without the creative key, even though we could have had the creative key right now. But I decided not to. Just chilling in the rain. Why? I was actually like, why is it not raining? I'm like, oh yeah, we're under our astral altar. Here it is, the ultimate battery. What now, indeed? All right. Let's turn it into an energy core, something that is useless that we're not going to use. That's just going to take a very short amount of time in comparison to how long we just waited for the battery. Well, not the battery, but like the stuff leading up to the battery as well. Just cooking up a quick LUV circuit, crafting up the actual energy core, and it's done. There it is, energy core. Quest complete. Oh, we get some flux points. Nice. Yeah, needed those. And a freaking burger and fries. Amazing. Alright, there's one last quest. We need to be able to do the creative key quest, and that is the Infinity Armor. However, I have once again, prepared all the things we need to make that. So let's just go over here and like request them. Infinity. Wait, did I? I did not prepare the Infinity armor. Let's get the Infinity boots going though, because that is something I prepared. That is a fusion craft recipe. Oh hey, maybe you can come down here and we can watch that happen. Because I didn't actually show off my automation of the fusion on camera yet. Alright, it's making some red matter and should be having the items come in. Okay, here it goes. Zip, zip, zip. I seem to have put the boots in the wrong slot of the recipe. Whoopsie. Well, that's not really a big deal. I'm just gonna put the boots in the middle and then put the wyvern cores back out. And there it goes. They get power from this LUV cable around the side. There it goes. Auto crafting, and boom, done. Whisked away into storage. And that's how the fusion crafting automation works. What did I call that interface down here? I don't know, but what went wrong here? That's odd. The boots of the traveler were the first thing in the interface, but somehow the draconic core got into the center first. Oh well. Chest is what I called it. Alright, let's craft the rest of the things we'll need to make the infinity set. Where are those infinity boots anyways? Should I put them on? I mean, I guess they're faster than the boots of the traveler I've been using, but like they don't have double jump on them, so I'm kind of like, eh. Alright, so let's craft our wyvern armor. Not wyvern. Draconic armor, because draconic armor is what you need to make the rest of the infinity set. Let's go ahead and craft you, the helmet. Let us craft the leggings. And then let us craft the chest plate. And that shouldn't take too long to craft. It looks like it just needs to make a handful more circuits. These draconic cores take EV circuits. These awakened cores take wyvern cores, which take LUV circuits. So, should not take long at all. Eye of Ender. That should also not take long. Quantum Eye might take a couple seconds longer because Quantum Eye. Speaking of Quantum Eye, what do I have for parallel hatch down here? Oh, it's the 16 parallel hatch. Why is it 16 parallel hatch? This one should be over here, so it can affect the chemical bath. Alright, how are we doing on this stuff? It's crafting a draconic core. I'm gonna probably come up here and babysit this just to make sure. Yeah, it looks like it's gone rogue again. Not sure what's going on there. This was working fine before, but... Alright. I'm just going to... Yeah, is the item, like, not coming into the, into this chest in the correct order? Like, what's going on here? Oh yeah, you see that? It, like, took from the... It didn't take from the first slot first. It, like, took from the second slot. Uh-oh, I just charged this. Hopefully this still crafts properly. Oh yeah, it's going. Okay. I'm still gonna accelerate it because it is slow. Yeah, conduit, why are you doing this? Stop, conduit. I'm gonna have that conduit turn off, and then I'm going to turn it back on after the items get put in here. So the nether star is the first thing in the chest. Please take the nether star. Brother, what are you doing? I can't with this right now. there's any setting I can do to make it only push the item from the center there. That's just being annoying like that. And it's still doing it. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, with the way I have the conduit set up, I would have to, like, redo a whole lot of this for it to work, so I'm just gonna sit here and manually put these items where they should be. Let me maybe just try... Oh, wait, hang on. Are we done? Maybe we're just done. Hey, we're done. Okay, cool. I do need to note that these draconic items are slightly charged because I had them in my inventory and that charged them. So for my infinity items, I need to make sure I use the copies of the items I have to craft these, which I presume will work. Like, if it doesn't work for some reason, I'm just going to spawn in copies, like delete and respawn them. Or I guess I could fully charge the items. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so assembly line. Let's go ahead and get our wyvern armor. Put our copy of the helmet. Get the chest piece with our copy of the chest piece. And then get the legs with our copy of the legs. Alright, assembly line. And then let's craft them up. Infinity. Chest plate. Go. Legs, go. Boots. No, not boots. Helmet, go. And how long do these take to craft? With our power, it's gonna take like 5 seconds to craft these. It's kind of funny, like this armor is so powerful, yet the crafting of it is kind of anticlimactic. And it's not running. Oh, buddy. Oh, quest complete for the draconic chest piece, hey. And yeah, it just wanted it to be fully charged, I guess. I'm just manually grabbing all these. Where's our last one? Here it is. Alright, very, very annoying. We had to do that, but... Oh well. Alright, infinity armor, get. Right, we can take these off now. And put on our new infinity armor. How does that even look? Let me take off my cosmetics. I mean, it looks pretty cool, I guess. I have infinity armor. Whoa. I don't know, if like somebody showed up to my house looking like this, I might like poop my pants or something. It's kind of crazy. This also gives us night vision, but that's conflicting with our... There we go. I took off my cybernetic night vision. So yeah, that's everything we need to get to the middle, right? To get to the creative key? I think so. Are there any incomplete quests here? Just throwing some junk out here. Done, 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 done. That's all the quest, right? Oh, uranium hexafluoride. How could we? Oh. I got confused for a second. We have a creative flight now with this armor. Oh, did you see that? Those effects? Look at that. That's sick. Too bad nobody's gonna be around to appreciate it, but what was I looking for? A bucket. I left an easy quest for last on next time. Hexafluoride. Uranium hexafluoride. Boom. That's it. And the creative key quest is now unlocked, and now I consider it fair game to create it and use it. So here we go. Creative key. This is it. Okay, I am gonna have to go get the Aurelia artifact and the Euclides Prime artifact, which should be on my spaceship. But I will start everything else crafting in the meantime, and I'll just like come insert it when I get back from my spaceship. Oh wait, why did I encode this twice? One has the Aurelia artifact in it. Okay, gotcha. And then we need crystalline alloy. You serious? We have to put this in a melter? How could they do this to us? Like, you freaking kidding me? How much do we need? We need 10,000? My gosh. Oh, here. Oh, it shows us, actually. Okay, it's 70 ingots. Whoops. I am not in the correct terminal for that. Alright, let's put that in alloy smelter. Can't believe we are doing kind of like a menial quest, to be honest, at this point. Even though we just got the most powerful armor in the game, it's just like, hey, go make this stuff. Alright. Why am I here? Oh yeah, how's this been doing? I forgot I mentioned at some point, but I came up here and grabbed a bunch of ores, and then I started grabbing all of our crystals and just sending them straight to our macerator. Alright, so our artifacts should be in here. How do you get in here again? Oh, and our alloys are done. Nice. Oh, it's here in the warp controller. Okay, there's our artifacts. It's not letting me take them to my inventory because my inventory is full, but there we go. Got my artifacts. Go back to /home. I will just go ahead and fix my thing here because now I have the artifacts. Re-encode the key, put the artifacts in storage, so that's ready to go. We just need the crystalline alloy. So I can't believe we're kind of returning to square one to make this. This is silly. Oh man, I don't even have like a hopper or anything over here. Here, let's get the wood hopper. Really return to square one. Alright, crystalline ink. Wait, why don't I have them all? Alright. Time in a bottle. Take us to the finish line. Oh, and do not actually... what's it called? Do not actually put it into the table. I need this to go into, like, a tank or something. Let's use one of our, like, early game starter tanks. Because, yep, we're just returning to the start of the game now at this point. We're even gonna pour it out with the faucet. Okay, but this is too slow, so let's speed it up. Is our lava gonna survive here? I don't think our lava's gonna survive here. Let me get some lava really quick. Sell. Lava. That's exactly what happened. We ran out of lava. Kind of as expected, but... Is our faucet still accelerated? Can't really tell. Can you believe they like make you do this right at the end of the game? Like, hey, go back to your origins and do this nonsense. There wasn't like a different way to make this that I'm missing, right? It's literally melter and smeltery, which is disabled. So this is it. I could have also made these. So no, I couldn't have. Out of lava again. Why did I only get 2 buckets? I mean, now we're gonna be good, but... Sorry if this is like... I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done more boring things on camera, but, there we go. 10,080 millibuckets. Yoink. I almost went to the void world. I should have done that in the void world. Dang, missed opportunity. Oh well, that fluid is now in our storage. And we should be able to go to the assembly line and craft our creative key. Here it is. We can craft everything. Wetware mainframes, huh? I was like, oh, there's actually quite a lot of stuff in here. Oh no, it needs to make awaken cores again. Oh jeez. Maybe I fix that. I don't know. I'll see. But I'm gonna go ahead and start that craft, and then we'll come back when it's done. See you in a minute. I might be messing around with this in the meantime while I'm waiting for that, because this was driving me nuts. So yeah, be back soon. Okay, well, it is now waiting for the awakened cores, and nothing else is waiting. But I did kind of get a uh, working solution. Obviously not, because I'm literally sitting here working on it right now. It's like not put together at all. But I did kind of imagine one, and it's kind of using the concept that I used back at the assembly line. So let me get these logic cables made really quick, and then I'll walk you through it. So we are going to use integrated tunnels once again. Gonna tell this to be high priority, and then we are having the interface push directly into an interface. So that should push the items straight into all of these. Now I just tested that you cannot actually extract from this. Oh wait a second. Maybe you can extract from this. Okay, we're gonna need to make a slight adjustment. We're just gonna set this to interface channel 1. Let's get exporter. So item exporter over here. You are going to be only exporting from oh, and we need our variable card as well. Variable card. Export all items from channel 1 only. Okay, so let's hook everything up. You are channel 1 and higher priority. For some reason, when it pushes into channel 0, it pushes to all the channels, but if my thinking is correct, this should just, like, work. So here we go. Crossover. Oh, frick. I connected the... I connected that before it was, like, ready to go. That's okay. I'm going to put that there manually, and then that should go. I have the redstone to start it on the bottom now, so if you're wondering where that went. Rip, it didn't work. I tried. Nether star is the first item in the bus, but yeah, it's just not putting the nether star into the... Oh, I didn't put it to high priority. Hold on. Priority 1. Okay, I didn't actually set the priority. My bad. One more time. Why are we not starting the recipe, though? Missing something here? Awakened core. 5 ingots and 4 wyvern cores. Why do we only have 3 wyvern cores here? Did I take a wyvern core on accident? Brother, what happened? Is one of these 2? Oh, yeah. How did that get 2 here? Single mode, active. Jeez. Okay, this should be good now, right? Please don't fail again. I'm gonna crash out. Not really, but... Yes, thank you. Alright, now I can speed this up. And, I'm gonna actually put the volume of that down. Because it's very loud. Alright, now that it's actually working, that's very satisfying. The only way to make this faster would be to give the fusion injectors more power, because that's kind of what it's, that's kind of what the bottleneck is how fast these charge up. It just needs to charge up with 1 million RF to be done. Alright, let's get our terminal so we can look at our crafting recipe progress. Alright, that's it. The creative key is crafting. Let's go watch it. I'm not going to make it before it's done. Oh, wait. I am going to make it. Because it's a 450-second recipe? Excuse me? Ah! Well, I guess it's kind of time to do the series closure. This is the, like, last item we need, and everything after this is just going to be, like, kind of cherry on top, right? So, if you've stuck through the whole series, or if you're finding this way later after I've uploaded it, either way, thank you for watching. If this is the first episode you're watching, maybe go back and watch some of the previous episodes, if you like what you see. I know I am not very good at this YouTube thing and making videos, and I definitely don't do editing at all. And when I do, it's not that great, so I understand that it's not the best thing to watch, but it is a thing to watch. So, if you're enjoying the series, hold on a second. I'm not going to mess with this, never mind. If you've enjoyed the series, thank you for watching. We are going to be doing one more episode where we kind of play around with our key here, but after that, this is it. This is going to be a wrap up for our base here. So, I will see you next time once the creative key is done. Just kidding. I'm not going to leave you hanging like that. I will craft the creative key. I will get it in my hand, and then we're going to do our sign off. Here we are. It's done. Oh, what a noise that was. Wow. There we go. That's it. We have completed the mod pack. Air quote completed. So, progression goal is complete. What does the Hydro Heart do? Doesn't seem to do anything. Gives increased regeneration based on how injured the holder is. I mean, cool, but I don't think I need to fight anything else at this point. Alright, so what does this do? So this just lets us, hey, we just got a UHV circuit done. Why didn't I take that UHV circuit? What am I going to do with this thing? Well, we can now just take a barrel, any old barrel, and we can just go over here and toss that in there. and use the creative key on it. Oh, would you look at that? Infinite circuits. So yeah, we're basically done with the mod pack. So, oh yeah, also you can't break it while it is in creative mode. But yeah, that's it. Oh, whoa, we can also get it by the stack. Okay, so we've got enough UHV circuits to last us for a while. Next time, we will see how we can utilize this to kind of break the experience or implode the experience, and then, yeah, that's gonna just kind of be our wrapping up point. Thanks for watching the series, and I'll see you next time for our true finale. Goodbye.